As the sun set over Merzouga, the village glowed in warm ochre, nestled at the edge of the Sahara. The sky was painted in hues of gold and rose, casting a magical light over the rooftops and winding streets. From above, Merzouga appeared as a tranquil oasis, a small cluster of life surrounded by endless waves of sand. The scent of spices and mint tea mingled in the air, while children's laughter echoed through narrow alleyways. The market bustled with energy. Vendors called out greetings, their stalls overflowing with vibrant saffron, cumin, and cinnamon. The aroma was intoxicating, a blend of earthiness and sweetness that seemed to define the village itself. Women in vibrant jalabas passed by, their eyes bright with curiosity. Their laughter and conversation wove through the air, adding to the symphony of village life. Each garment told a story, a tapestry of color and tradition passed down through generations. The village pulsed with life, a final burst of civilization before the vast silence of the dunes. Merchants bartered, elders shared stories beneath shaded awnings, and travelers like me paused to take it all in, feeling the heartbeat of Merzouga in every moment. I sat in a small courtyard, savoring sweet mint tea, a ritual of welcome as old as the sand itself. The tea was poured high, its aroma swirling in the air, and each sip was both refreshing and grounding. In that moment, I felt connected to the generations who had gathered here before me, sharing stories and dreams over steaming glasses. The world around me was a tapestry of color and sound, alive with tradition and anticipation. Musicians played rhythmic tunes on handmade drums, and dancers moved with effortless grace, their movements echoing the timeless spirit of the desert. As the sun dipped lower, shadows stretched across the ground, cooling the air and signaling the coming adventure. The village seemed to exhale, settling into a gentle hush as the heat faded and the promise of night approached. This was the gateway to the desert, a place where time slowed and the heart opened to possibility. Standing at the edge, I felt the pull of the unknown, the vastness of the Sahara inviting me to leave behind the familiar and embrace the extraordinary. The anticipation was electric, a flutter of nerves and joy as the desert beckoned. My heart raced with excitement, knowing that every step forward would be a step into a world shaped by wind, sand, and ancient stories. I knew this journey would leave an imprint on my soul, and I was ready to step through the gateway, into the endless dunes where adventure and discovery awaited beyond the horizon. As the hour approached, the village square transformed into a hive of purposeful activity. The fading sun painted the cobblestones in warm gold, and the air buzzed with a sense of expectation. Merchants called out their final offers, children darted between stalls, and the aroma of spices mingled with the cool evening breeze. Every corner of the square seemed alive, each person playing their part in the unfolding story. Local men, wrapped in colorful robes, moved with calm efficiency, gathering supplies and preparing camels. Their practiced hands loaded woven baskets and water skins, their voices low and steady as they checked every detail. The Berber guides, with their quiet authority, orchestrated the preparations, ensuring nothing was left behind. The air was thick with the scent of leather and the musky presence of camels. The animals shifted their weight, their large eyes reflecting the last rays of sunlight, their saddles creaking softly as they waited. Each camel, adorned with colorful blankets and sturdy harnesses, seemed to sense the journey ahead. Every movement was deliberate, a practiced dance honed by generations. The guides' hands moved with confidence, securing bundles and adjusting straps, their gestures echoing the wisdom of countless desert crossings. There was a quiet rhythm to their work, a sense of ritual that spoke of deep tradition. Travelers from around the world gathered, united by a shared hunger for adventure. Some spoke in hushed tones, others laughed nervously, all drawn together by the promise of the unknown. The excitement was palpable, a tapestry of languages and stories woven together in anticipation. We exchanged quiet smiles, donning traditional blue headscarves, the chesh, guided by our hosts. The fabric felt cool and reassuring, a symbol of protection and belonging. As we helped one another, a sense of camaraderie blossomed, bridging cultures and backgrounds. As I wrapped the fabric around my head, I felt myself becoming part of something ancient. The simple act connected me to generations of travelers who had crossed these sands before, their hopes and dreams echoing in the desert wind. The guides checked our scarves and seating, offering gentle encouragement. Their reassuring words and careful attention eased our nerves, reminding us that we were in capable hands. Every detail mattered, every gesture a promise of safety and welcome. The sun dipped low, casting dramatic shadows and heightening our anticipation. The sky blazed with color, painting the village in dunes and hues of orange and violet. Time seemed to slow, each moment stretching with possibility. The world seemed to pause, breathless, as we prepared to enter the silent theater of the Sahara. In that stillness, hearts beat faster, and the magnitude of the journey ahead settled over us like a gentle hush. The stage was set, the caravan ready. Camels and travelers stood poised at the edge of the unknown, the first steps of our adventure shimmering in the twilight. Our adventure was about to begin, and with it, the promise of stories yet to be written beneath the endless desert sky. Then I met my camel, Zindin, the brave. He stood before me, a living symbol of the desert's endurance, his presence both calming and awe-inspiring. There was a quiet wisdom in his gaze, as if he'd seen countless travelers come and go, each with their own hopes and fears. He towered above me, eyes soulful, adorned with colorful pom-poms and softly jingling bells. The decorations danced in the morning breeze, adding a festive touch to the vast golden landscape. His gentle grumbles seemed to welcome me, a reminder that these animals are as much a part of the desert as the sand itself. The guides, led by Hamid, moved with quiet confidence, introducing us to our camels and teaching us how to mount. Their patience was endless, their smiles reassuring, as they shared stories of the desert and the camel's important role in their lives. Mounting was a lurching, exhilarating process, leaving me laughing and clinging on. The camel rose in two great heaves, first the back legs, then the front, and suddenly I was perched high above the sand, heart pounding with excitement and nerves. From atop Zindin, the world opened up, village rooftops behind, endless sand ahead. The horizon stretched on forever, painted in hues of gold and ochre, promising adventure and mystery with every step forward. The camels, patient and resilient, were the true heart of the journey. Their calm presence grounded us, their steady pace a reminder to slow down and savor each moment in this ancient landscape. Their wide feet and gentle sway promised a peaceful passage through the dunes. Each step was deliberate, their bodies moving in a rhythm shaped by centuries of travel across these sands. Hamid and his companions were more than guides, they were custodians of the desert's secrets. Their knowledge of the land, the stars, and the camels was profound, passed down through generations. As we waited for the signal to depart, I felt a growing bond with Zindin. His gentle patience and quiet strength made me feel safe, even as the unknown stretched out before us. We were partners now, ready to face the wilderness together. I reached out to stroke his neck, feeling the warmth of his fur and the steady beat of his heart beneath my hand. The gentle rhythm of his movement was both calming and thrilling. With each sway, I felt more connected to the desert, to the journey, and to the ancient tradition of travel by camel. The adventure was no longer a dream. It was real, and it was ours. Surrounded by the vast silence of the dunes and the companionship of these remarkable animals, I knew I was exactly where I was meant to be. With a word from Hamid, our caravan moved, one elegant line leaving the village behind. The silence of the desert enveloped us, broken only by the camels' soft steps and creaking saddles. The dunes of Erg Chebbi rose before us, a golden ocean stretching to infinity. Awe washed over me. The scale and beauty were overwhelming. The sand shimmered in countless shades, shifting with the light. I felt both small and deeply connected, a part of this vast tapestry. The camel's rocking gait became a meditative rhythm, inviting presence and peace. I trailed my hand through the warm, silky sand, feeling the desert's pulse. A cool breeze stirred, carrying away the noise of modern life. Each dune was a living sculpture shaped by wind and time. The journey had begun, and I was fully present in its magic. As we rode, the sun began its spectacular descent, bathing the desert in molten gold. The sky blazed with orange, crimson, and pink, every dune cast in dramatic light and shadow. We paused atop a high crest, the world hushed in reverence. The sun touched the horizon, shadows stretching long and thin across the sand. It was a moment of pure wonder, a fleeting masterpiece painted just for us. All worries faded, replaced by awe and gratitude for the beauty before us. As the last light vanished, twilight cloaked the dunes in lavender and indigo. A single star appeared, heralding the desert night. The air cooled and silence deepened. The sunset's magic lingered, a sacred memory etched in our hearts. Night was falling and a new kind of magic was about to begin. We reached camp as darkness settled, greeted by the glow of a crackling fire and the aroma of tagine. The camels rested, their presence comforting after the vastness of the dunes. After a hearty meal, we gathered around the fire, drawn together by warmth and curiosity. Our guides played drums, their rhythms echoing the heartbeat of the desert. Songs and stories filled the night, tales of jinns, ancient caravans, and constellations overhead. Hamid's voice wove legends and pointed out the hidden life of the desert. The campfire became a place of connection, not just with each other, but with the land and its people. We were welcomed as guests, not tourists, sharing laughter and wonder under the stars. The fire's glow, the music and the stories created a sense of belonging and peace. In that circle, strangers became friends, united by the desert's magic. After the fire faded, I wandered into the darkness and looked up. The sky was ablaze with stars, so many, so bright it felt unreal. The Milky Way arched overhead, a luminous river in the night. Silence enveloped me, profound and alive. I felt the cool sand beneath my feet, the night air on my skin. Shooting stars flashed, each one a secret shared with the universe. I thought of the nomads, who navigated by these same stars, feeling a deep connection to their history. The desert night was not empty, but filled with the presence of the cosmos. Lying in my tent, I left the flap open, letting the stars be my ceiling and the wind my lullaby. Sleep came easily, wrapped in the peace and wonder of the desert. Before dawn, a guide's gentle call woke me. Wrapped in a blanket, I climbed a dune to await sunrise. The world was silent, bathed in a soft, pre-dawn glow. As the horizon brightened, I felt clarity and renewal. The sunrise was gentle, pink and lilac giving way to gold, revealing the dune's graceful curves. The first rays warmed my face, a promise of hope and new beginnings. Watching the desert awaken was deeply spiritual, teaching patience and the beauty of simplicity. The journey had stripped away the noise of modern life, reconnecting me with what mattered. Gratitude welled up, gratitude for the beauty, the experience and the transformation. As we prepared to return, I looked out over the dunes, knowing I was changed. The desert had been my teacher, its lessons imprinted on my heart. Our return to Merzouga was quiet, the morning sun gentle on the dunes. Back in the village, sipping mint tea, the world felt both familiar and transformed. The desert had awakened my senses and shifted my perspective. Adventure, I realized, is about seeing the world and ourselves with new eyes. We all need moments that fill us with wonder and quiet the mind. These are the stories we carry, the memories that sustain us. Seek out your own adventures, big or small. Say yes to new experiences, let the world transform you. For in these journeys, we discover not just the world, but ourselves.